Hello, my name is Brother Sean, and I'm a member of the Teo community of St. Francis, a lay monastic community who meet online 4 times a day. And our vision given to us by God through Francis is to invite all faiths and none, and for us to embrace all faiths and none. This short video is really a reflection for the soul, an important reflection. It's time to listen to your heart, or is it? Yesterday evening I was very privileged to receive an important message from the Palladians regarding the Olympics from our dear sister Buffy, and I found it a bit heavy going, but then I was guided to read it again, and after reading it something resonated in my heart. It was an extremely interesting message, loaded with a lot of good advice. If you wish to receive a copy of that, I am willing to send it to you. If you email me at brothersean2012@aol.com, it will give me great pleasure. But today, many souls are being caught out, especially those on the spiritual path, because they're so preoccupied with what's happening in family, with friends, in their career paths and in their spiritual paths. And it would appear that many are compromising on their quiet time. They're not giving time to their heart, to listen to their heart. Some have even lost the gift of discerning the inner sacred voice of spirit. And they're listening more to the many voices in their head. Voices that are leading them off their chosen paths. These voices are cunning, disruptive, depressing, and they literally disembowel you. They are not the voice of God, they are the voice of ego, convincing one that there is no need to pray, there is no need to be still, there is no need for discipline or even fasting on the spiritual path. When I hear messages like that, I immediately bin them and recycle them. And if they persist, which they do, and they can wear you down, you just wrap them in the blood of the risen cosmic Christ. And you repeat your mantras, whatever your mantras are. My mantra is simple. I am a child of God. I am a child of the light. And I am loved. Listening to your heart is as essential as breathing air into your lungs to stay alive. We have 3 rooms that we need to feed. There is the mind room, the body room, and the spirit room. And because we live to a 24-hour clock, it's not easy. It is not easy. But if we give time to rest and get in 6 to 8 hours sleep a night if you're lucky, then we know the body and the mind are getting rest. But what about the spirit room? What about that important room that guides us on the spiritual path? How do we know we're progressing? How do we know if we're not listening to that inner voice? We are denying ourselves important direction from spirit. So I would suggest, take another look at your day and see how you can implement positive change. If you were only to start with 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and last thing at night, and if your intent is honorable and you fail miserably, then at least you started on a right footing. And when you come to your evening celebration, say 10-15 minutes, you can acknowledge that you've had a mishap. And you can ask the company of heaven for support. But we must set in place that discipline. Because without that discipline or structure, then knowing human nature for what it is, we will bypass the importance or the need for quietness, for stillness, and for listening to the Supreme communicate with us. Remember, the heart, your heart, my heart, is the gateway to your soul. And the soul, as you know, is the gateway to God. So if we compromise and ignore the heart, then how can we discern what God is trying to say to us? It is in the silence of each day. You may want to go for a walk and just reflect nature, and as you meander through the forests or along the seashore, you can allow your heart engage with the Supreme through nature and spend short periods just listening. We are living in exciting times, and right now the Pleiadians are with us, enlightened beings on a par with ourselves. They are here on planet Earth, guiding us. And many enlightened beings from the cosmos are coming through to shepherd mankind, because we are such a dilatory race. Many start off well and then they flounder. Gaia needs all the help she can get in her ascension. And many who started off well are flagging, falling by the wayside in their drones. And that's why we've been privileged to have beings of great light come and support us in this important year, 2012. And you and I have a duty of care to honor our heart. And if we say we're in service to the light, as the light bringer of peace, isn't it important to make time to listen to the voice of God and nourish our battle-weary soul? I leave this to you to reflect on, and it's the reading that we read early this morning in our twilight vigil. Nothing can separate you from my love. Let this divine assurance trickle through your mind and into your heart and soul. Whenever you start to feel fearful or anxious, repeat this unconditional promise. Nothing can separate you from your love, Jesus. Most of mankind's misery stems from feeling unloved. In the midst of adverse circumstances, people tend to feel that love has been withdrawn and they have been forsaken. This feeling of abandonment is often worse than the adversity itself. Be assured that I never abandon my children, not even temporarily. I will never leave you or forsake you, said Jesus the barefoot Galilean, not even temporarily. My presence watches over you continually. I have engraved you on the palms of my hand. When you hear words like that, Isn't it wonderful when you can make time for silence and stillness? And you will hear the Master speak. But it's like learning to drive. And to pass your test, you have to go through a series of maneuvers. You have to be familiar with the highway code. You just don't get in a car and drive off onto a busy motorway. You have to learn the art of silence, being still and being comfortable in your own body. And there is help available, but you have to do the asking. It's not given to you against your will. You have to engage with your free will. Namaste.